Hey, Professor, this is Chris. I just want to let you know that I have, I'm not an expert like you, but I know a lot about psychology because being defenseless and being in the situation that I'm in, I know a lot about people and a lot about train of thought and a lot about the way things are, unfortunately. But I just want to say that, I know a lot about the frontal lobe, the temporal, which controls stuff that you see. He the the bricks. I can't pronounce that doctor's name. The two doctors once said, uh, if you take one part of the brain, you can sing. You can still sing, but you can't speak. And if you take the mid part of the brain and damage it, you can understand, but you can't speak. I I kind of understand Skinner, even though he has a warped way of doing things. He's looking for a reaction. Everything has a reaction, and everything is kind of cause and effect. You know what I mean? So I understand Skinner in that sense. Um, but even classical is a regular. You can still get a reaction and cause of effect, like the bell ringing, or if you symbolize something with fear, or you symbolize something with food, or you symbolize with something you're attracted to. That's understandable. And I know the whole thing about cerebellum and the hippocampus. The hippocampus, I would consider that the brain of everything. Um, Encoding is basically exactly what it is. It's comprehension and breaking the code. Not Da Vinci, no, I'm just joking. Um, and of course, receiving storage. Who wouldn't understand that? That's very elementary. The thing is that when I take tests, or whoever's giving me the test, I get confused by certain words, and I lack focus, and I lack confidence. But I do have pretty good grasp of what's going on in the class, and I understand pretty well. Um, I look at nuclear and the synopsis and the trans cells, and I look at that as like an octopus that, or parts of the brain that needs the skeleton to put together. You have the nucleus, you have the the I forgot the word. It's not atom. It's with an A. And then you have the thing that protects the whole stem, the self, and it's, how can I say this? But that's pretty like self-explanatory. Like, I use self as the protector, and I use um, nucleus and the space in between as the little suction cups or the tentacles. Reboot is exactly what it is. It's reboot. Um, when uh, neuron cells travel, like the one space gets when it's a slow space, it travels slower. When it's a bigger space, it travels faster. That's obvious. If there's not enough space, you're not gonna move fast. But if there's enough space, you're gonna be able to have access. So, and the thing where we spoke in the first class about Triphony, which is something like, I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry, but it looks like trophy, where uh, you take the part of the brain that if a person is crazy or if they had an aneurysm, you take the part of the brain and then automatically they're cured. Or in the first class where we talked about people in the jail, which is kind of confusing, the two words when you say the the pendant variable and the independent variable. It's kind of reversed. You would think dependent as a single, but in reality it's a group of people. But the independent, the is the one, the 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 independent is one single individual, and the dependent is the majority of people. It's like math when you do the what you call it, the damn, I don't remember that, um statistics, one out of this or one out of that, like the ratio was how many marbles randomly will be purple or red or stuff like that. So I pretty much know the info. I hope you know I know this stuff too, Professor. I hope so. Thank you.